How's everyone going? Welcome back to another Courage 998 unboxing video thing. We already know by the title what we're doing today, so technically it's we're only opening one of them, but let's have a look at one of Auscision Models' newest releases. So welcome everyone. We've been waiting for, I don't know, about 3 years. I think it's been the pandemic kind of delayed all the production, but they're finally here. The V-Line Series 1 G-Class locomotives from Auscision Models have finally arrived. We've actually got two today. The second one will be seen in our unboxing extras video on the other channel. It's also DCC. Also, the main difference is this is DCC sound, so we don't usually do sound stuff as part of the main channel. So this will be as part of the review. So be sure to stay tuned for that. The review's due, and I don't know. It's actually due out later this year after I have a few months to play around with them. That will be coming out in unboxing extras at some point as well, and we'll also run through some of the sounds during that video. But yeah, so anyways, Auscision's G-Class, not too bad. We've got it in the plastic wrap, just arrived. So it was under the pre-order as well. Pre-ordered pretty much a year to the day of recording, just over a year. So anyways, let's have a look at what we've got. We've got number G4, which is the 1990s variant of G515, so in V-Line orange and grey. So there we are. The G-Class locomotives, everyone pretty much knows them. They're still pretty much runs operates everywhere to this day. So they're a very prominent class of locomotive, especially in Victorian. And they were the pinnacle to replace as a replacement to basically all of our 1950s diesels, the B classes and S class locomotives. Not that they ended up fully replacing them, but that was their intention. In any case, let's get her open. It's just got a plastic wrap around it, so we'll just have to cut it out, this plastic wrap. Geez, literally brand new. It's not like it even went through a shop or anything. So we're gonna have a look at the experience together. Yeah, I hope everyone has been well. Anyways, it's been a little while since we've done a proper Australian unboxing video. A Victorian unboxing video. Most of the stuff we've been doing lately has been those C38s and a few other miscellaneous models that we've been acquiring. So it's definitely good to get back to something more standard. We have actually had another video that's been sitting in the waiting list for quite a while. That's still in the waiting list purely since that's the backup video if anything goes if we run out of videos, because we aim for 4 of these per year, 3 to 4. Yeah, so that's the lid comes off. Once again, we've got our nice instruction manuals. So regular instructions, nothing too fancy. Other than that, we'll have a scroll through on the video on the camera right now. It's pretty much the regular stuff, and it has a whole lot of the features. We will have a chat about those features later on. We've also got the DCC sound functions on the back, which is really nice. This is obviously for those that have DCC sound. There's 31 sounds as well, which is with the exception of 18, which is non-use. So that's pretty cool. Of course, that will be more specific to the other model. It's really nice though that they actually also color code the boxes. I haven't actually had an Auscision models in a while. You've got grey for the DC models and then white for the DCC sound fitted models. So really nice. And this is your exploded diagram as per usual. So this is your top shell. Again, we'll have the thing, and this is your inside chassis. So, oh goodness, that sounds like real fun if something goes wrong. I hope nothing will go wrong, but knowing my luck, everything does. Nice bit of thick foam right here. And there we go. It's actually Auscision's new box. I saw this in the exhibition. So this is actually filmed on the same day as Sandown. Really nice box. I'm loving the foam actually. It's nice and secure. It's does make sure that things don't move. There's less of a chance of things cracking as well. So I really do quite like this new box. Nice one, Auscision. But yeah, so let's see if we can get it out without breaking it anyways. I think we can just pick it up and slide it out. Oh no, there it goes. Yes. I think just pop it around. Yeah, there we go. She nicely comes out. You can even take these, technically pull the wheel braces out as well. So, oh wow, they've got little plastic things covering the wheels. That's really, really nice. So that's the plastic wrap off now. Then drop the plastic off the wheels, and there we go. Very nice. Very nice models indeed. Locomotive number G515. Alright, let's move the camera, let's have a look at it nice and closely. As I say, this is the 1990s variant, so we'll have a check of the things specific to this model, and have a look at the key details from what they specify on the website that was different between these and the original as well, just to make sure that we point those details out. So, let's get close up. Alright, here we go, we've got her on the table. Nice, and let's do our first impressions of the model. Well, what can we say? It looks... I don't know, what's it called? You can't really call box nice, but it looks pretty good, honestly. So as you can see, it's number 515. It's the 1990s model, so it has the MU's cable fitted. It's also got the ditch lights, as you can see at the bottom. So yeah, not too bad. We'll just start spinning around again. This is just first impressions. Got the steps up the side of the door. Those are, if I'm correct, those are steps to get up onto the roof, to make it easier to get up on the roof. Got a nicely printed V-line logo on the side. What else? You got your port hose on the side. You got your nice. This is the number. I actually can't remember what specifies number 1 or number 2 in, but there is a way to specify. Got very nice horns on the top. These were fitted with the first series of G's were fitted with Leslie 5-chime horns. I can't recall. I can put it on the screen. I can find out, but I can't recall what kind of horns they were using. But they were using the Leslie style horns, basically. So in the later years, 515 actually had a Nathan on one end, but I think she's been refitted with a Leslie again. Can't remember. So yeah, this is the other end. Pretty much the same as the one end. You've got even little side mirrors and stuff, which is really cool. I can't remember if we did the features in this side of the video or not. I think that's supposed to be in a close-up. I don't know. Can't remember. Anyways, yeah, moving along the side. You got a bit of undercarriage detail. The bogies look nice. They're flexicore bogies, if I recall. And then back onto the starting side. As you can see, there's also crew on this end, so that's really, really nice. But yeah, so not a bad looking model. You've even got the builder's plate on the cab over there. Slight little thing that I need to confirm is my 515 wasn't fitted with ditch lights in 1993. She didn't have ditch lights, so she was fitted later in life. You've even got your sandpipes. Your sandpipes are actually slightly out of alignment already, so it might have got caught on the foam. So that's a kind of a unfortunate thing that it's already bent out. But yeah, other than that, not too bad at all. We'll jump into its history. So a brief history. Then we'll have a chat about a close look and its features. Alright, so it's time to do the history on the Victorian G-Class. The V-Line G-Class was is the first large batch of high-power locomotives for Victoria, and first new builds for V-Line. 33 locomotives were built across 3 distinct orders, each with a different specification. The first 5 locomotives to be built were extra BL class locomotives that Clyde Engineering were manufacturing for Australian National at the time. Upon their arrival in 1984, another order was immediately placed for 10 more locomotives, this time tailored to more V-Line specifications. The introduction of these locomotives saw a boost in power where a single locomotive could match the horsepower of 3 of the older locomotives, primarily speaking the T classes and smaller. The third extension saw a final order of 16 locomotives, but it was split at 2 different factories. These locomotives were primarily used as freight engines, sometimes assisting with standard gauge passenger services. Throughout the years, the Gs have progressed through multiple mainline companies and travelled all across the ARTC standard gauge network, with the exception of the run to Darwin. These models represent the first 5 G-class locomotives. G515 entered service in November 1984 and was the last of the first of order. It continued service into Freight Victoria, then Freight Australia, Pacific National, SCT, then finally CFCLA, who have now been renamed as Rail First, and now operates on the Victorian broad gauge network on hire to Cube. Alright, I guess it's time for the close look up. Although I just need to specify one thing: the close look will be filmed in the future. So this what's it called? The unboxing was filmed just shortly after the Sandown exhibition, but the completion of some of the sections had to be done later. Because as you can tell, I didn't realise this during the first impressions. For the eagle eye, will notice that there was something wrong with the model. Yes, there is. There is a missing grille on 515, which is right in front of me. From what I've put in the request to get a replacement grille sent out, so we'll get that fitted and we'll continue on with the unboxing video. Then we will, however, be running the model without the grille because we need to. Because missing details is not a performance issue. It's obviously, as per the part just before the video, it's been quite a few months actually since the main component of the video was filmed. We can see the issue has been fixed. Thank you, Auscision. So let's continue on with this video. Obviously, it's just this section and the conclusion that will have the correct ones with the fully completed. So let's do a quick spin of the model. Let's go closer up into it and let's talk about some of its details. So from the front, I have actually got the model backwards, because the driver's up the other end, but well, you've got very nice little details. Your handrails, your horns, they're proper Leslie style horns as well, in the upside down position, and this is actually apparently even correct for something like G514, which has it the other way around, where it's actually right side up. So it's really nice. They kept that bit of detail. You got the MU cables, which is this model was supposed to have the original. When they first came in service, they actually didn't have MU cables fitted in their sockets, supposedly, but the models you did. You got your brake rigging. I think they're upside down as well. Don't get me. I can't confirm that, but I think they might be upside down on these models. Well, at least it's in this position. It's sitting upside down, and they spring back as well if you try to force them down. Oh no, they don't. Yeah, so they arrived in the upside down position, I think. But someone else can confirm that, of course, or whatever. So, on the other model, it's actually already dropped down. You got some nice mirrors. Those mirrors are, again, based on which model you have. They have different style mirrors. So, got the correct mirrors for this model. You got your wipers, single bladed wipers. Eventually, there would be double bladed wipers fitted for the later models. Anyways, you got little handrails on the side of the doors. You got your walkways, stairs into the top. There's your grille. That's the one that's been replaced as well. Well, been added. So it's been fitted out. Really fits perfectly, of course, and a little bit of crystal clear has definitely made sure that no glue seams are visible. You can see the flexicore bogies, very, very nicely detailed bogies right there. There are steps also off there to get into the cab. They are metal and etched. They are also very, very fragile, so be very careful with those, especially when you're planning to remove the sides just to oil them up. Got portholes, very nicely painted up decals on the side of the model. You get your number plate, and it's not etched, it's plastic, but it is like embossed, so it's not a flat. It's not like it's paint or anything. which with these models is correct. Fuel tank back onto the other side of the model. Yeah, not too bad at all. You get your Clyde builder's plate, which is correct for these locomotives. Again, in the V-line era, they did have those fitted onto the other end. So this end is the end with the drivers. Drivers are in green belts, not green belts, green clothing. So quite a little bit hard to see them from this angle. Forgot to say, directional headlighting. They've got knuckle couplers. These are the standard Auscision metal style knuckle couplers. They work for time. They eventually will break with a lot of them. I've had anyways. So they're fine to start off with. They don't work very well with the undertrack magnets, so with KD. So now on this end, you can see on the top as well, there's a few vents and air conditioning, and you got the exhaust manifestors and stuff like that. This side is basically all the same as the other side, so we'll have more of a closer look with the roof primarily. You got the exhaust, you got your dynamic brakes and dynamics exhaust as well. So all pretty nice. The model does come fitted with sandpipes and so forth. Those are very nice again. Good thing about this model is when you remove the body from, the shell comes off away from the bodies. However, the sandpipes are connected to the body shell, so be warned about when you're putting those in. Don't crush those. You've also got ditch lights that I forgot to say. You got so you got your directional lights, headlight on the top, marker lights down there, which are red on the bottom, white on the top, and then two ditch lights for which are all directional. Alright, so I think that should pretty much complete our close look of the models. Let's jump over to layout and give them a run. Well, we already have, but let's go and take a look at operation. There you go, we're now at the layout. So the model for the first half of this video will, for the first part of this, will be in its as arrived form. So with the missing grille. Here we go. We've got 515 sitting right here. Let's put it on. It's pretty regular size compared to most of the other Australian diesels. I think it's slightly shorter than the Bs at least. We've got the B here, so yes, realistically they were slightly shorter. So they use the same sort of wheel arrangement though. All right, let's get it moving. We'll get her to go towards the camera, and then so we can have a look at the lights, and then we'll have it go away. Nice, smooth and quiet actually. I have actually already tested the DC6 Sound one, which is in slightly better condition. It only had a smashed mirror on it, but that's been fixed already. But yeah, so those ones are really noisy, but this is really quiet. You got two red tails on the in reverse. Not too bad at all. Ooh, that's interesting. Didn't like that. Might be a little tight for it. Says it did specify that the tightest radius they can run is 18 inches. This corner from there, it used to be in just this section here. It's now from there to there. That is 18 inches. So, and just came off. Yep. 18 inches is a little bit too tight for it, especially around this corner. So, interesting. I'm pretty sure it specified 18 inches was fine. I'll quickly grab the instructions. Yep, as per the instructions, recommended minimum radius of 18 inches. So that's rather interesting indeed. Definitely, it seems like it's struggling, and it just came off on the center of that curve. So, I guess we'll just get on a running in. I might actually quickly just spin the locomotive around. So again, I can't tell which is BN, AN, or whatever with these locomotives. To me, these are just double-ended locomotives. I've just rotated the locomotive around. Let's see what's do derail. Yes, it will. Okay, so something about going in this direction, that curve is a bit tight for it. Okay. I would never recommend having an 18-inch corner on a layout. It's very impractical and it's very unrealistic because when you have your, especially gangways and stuff, corridors, they curve off in like a very weird way. But as a test layout, it's a pretty good thing to test, especially when there's claims specifying that it's able to run 18 inches. It can run, for some reason, in only one direction. Don't know why that is. So, also, if you notice that this is now straight instead of it was an S curve originally. That's helped a lot of the other engines. So, in any case, this has been. I've talked a bit too much. Let's get her moving. I will get her going to away from it. Well, we'll just move her back first. Let's see if we can find out where it's. Didn't fall off that time. That's his slow speed around that corner. We'll get it going away, and then we'll pick up the locomotive and rotate it and get it going the same way, but with the opposing end, just to get the running in, and then we'll obviously capture some stuff with it running at carriages later on. I've got it powered at approximately 55%, a little bit more power because she seems like she's struggling a little bit. Alright, that's the running in done. Well, it was done for quite a while. It's been 2 weeks since the running in was completed. So yeah, I think the model may have been rotated in that time as well. So let's go and put it onto a train. I've got some grain wagons parked up on the other side of the layout, so let's go and couple it up. Okay, so there we are. We've got pulling a set of 10 grain wagons. I thought it was only fitting. Let's put it on a grain train. That's basically what the G's do. It's one of the main roles of the G classes on the main line. So yeah, 515 doesn't really do that much grain these days anymore, though. It's mainly on container duties and steel trains, and even the hopper trains. But yeah, not much grain haulage for cube these days. So yeah, let's get her rolling. The only thing I've realised is it may possibly have a few derailment issues, because I think the engine can only go one way around the layout, if I recall from the first part. So yeah, this might be interesting. Okay, I think it's probably time that we end off this video, shall we? So, just got it running now. It's, well, as was stated earlier in the video, this is filmed later comparatively to the rest of the unboxing. However, as we now, well, mainly so that we can have the model completed. As we can see, it's got the grill refitted on this end. So, there we are. What's our thoughts on the new Auscision Gs? Definitely not a bad model. They're very nice runners. The 18-inch corner is basically definitely a bit optimistic though. It does struggle around that corner. Stu does have the slowdowns, and when it's flipped around, so if the other end is facing on the front, it does derail as well. Other than that, details are fantastic. The despite the issues that we had. Operationally, seems like they're fine. The motors are a bit noisy on DC, and even the DCC version, because by now I can even talk about that, is also a little bit, has the same sort of weird motor noise, which is kind of interesting. Sounds like either the motor is running too hard, or it's the weights are slightly shifted on it, or possibly even the wheels aren't fully circular. But all that we'll need to find out in the future, obviously. Other than that, yeah, it definitely hasn't been a bad model at all. Everything looks fine, especially with this version of the model anyways. And yeah, very powerful. It doesn't seem to struggle at all with any of this stuff, and even tested the other one on a nice loading at the club layer with a with a longer train than what's on this one. It definitely handles it pretty well, pretty much as strong as what the Bs can do, or even a little bit stronger. But yeah, not too bad of a model. Once again, this is just the initial review, initial thoughts and sort of things for the model, but we will be coming back at some point with a full review of the model, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Should be due out later towards the end of the year or early next year. Should be, fingers crossed. Other than that, let's let the model depart, and we'll thank you all for watching this video once again. We'll catch you all very soon for the next one. At the time of recording, I think the next one is next model to be recorded is also really close by, so that's going to be delayed obviously for a few months, but should be another thing in V-Line, hopefully. We'll catch you all next time.